Mehul and Alia had blasted all the helicopters of the GSK army, and Surya had fled. But Mehul still didn't know about the Bulbulaya scientist. Mehul quickly comes down from the building and reaches Alia.
Are you okay, Alia?
Sir, the Bulbulaya scientist.
What happened to the Bulbulaya scientist?
Alia informs Mehul that Surya, GSK's right-hand man, had shot the Bulbulaya scientist in the leg. Mehul immediately sets off with Alia towards the Bulbulaya scientist's house. The Bulbulaya scientist had created a maze to reach his house. Logical Army, can you tell which route leads to the Bulbulaya scientist's house? Let me know your answer in the comments. The route A goes to the scientist's house like this. Mehul and Alia take the route A and reach the Bulbulaya scientist's house. But upon reaching there, Mehul's feet slip on the ground. More than half of the scientist's house is completely wrecked. Some areas around the house are engulfed in flames. It's like a full-on war zone out here.
I can't find the Bulbulaya scientist. Alia, check that direction.
Alia begins searching for the scientist on the right side, and Mehul begins searching inside the house.
Where are you, scientist? Bulbulaya scientist, where are you?
Mehul explores every nook and cranny. He grows increasingly worried.
Did the GSK army take the Bulbulaya scientist?
Mehul quickly comes outside and calls Alia.
Alia, come here quickly.
Alia climbs up a tree, looking all around. But suddenly, Mehul gets a feeling that something is not right.
There must be someone else here.
Logical Army, why do you think Mehul got the feeling that there might be someone else? Let me know your answer by commenting. When Mehul and Alia were here earlier, there were only 3 spots with fire, but now there are 5 spots ablaze. How can the fire spontaneously ignite in separate places without any connection? Something fishy is going on. Mehul quickly takes out his gun, but before he can do anything, the fire starts spreading, forming a circle of flames around him.
This means it was all done with careful planning.
Struggling to escape the fire, it intensifies, catching his clothes on fire. In a panic, he starts burning. Alia arrives with the flying gun and swiftly rescues him from the flames. The flying gun couldn't handle the load of 2 people, so Alia and Mehul barely make it out. As soon as they come out, Mehul starts tumbling to the ground. Alia also starts patting dirt on him to put out the fire on his clothes.
Thank you, Alia. If you hadn't arrived in time, I would have been toast. But how did you do all that?
Alia explains about the flying gun, but suddenly, they hear footsteps nearby. Mehul and Alia become alert, realizing that the enemy is hiding somewhere. Logical Army, can you guess where the enemy is hiding? Let me know your answer in the comments. The enemy is hiding behind the bushes on the left side. Look closely, some bushes moving behind the other ones on the left side. It looks like there's someone hiding there. Mehul cautiously moves towards the bushes. As he enters, he finds a small robot car inside.
Interesting, very interesting. It looks like the GSK army is tracking everything using this robot car.
He captures the robot car, but as soon as he touches it, a red alarm starts blaring from the car.
Run, Alia.
The blast is so powerful that both Mehul and Alia are badly injured. Mehul manages to stand, but Alia is unconscious.
Hey Alia, open your eyes. Please open your eyes.
But Alia remains unconscious. Mehul quickly carries her and rushes away. Mehul accelerates his car as fast as he can and arrives at Dr. Sanjana's lab. The lab's door is locked with a high security password. Rahul's age was 3 times that of Sachin's age 10 years ago, and in the next 10 years, Rahul's age will be twice that of Sachin's age. Logical Army, what is Rahul's present age? 60, 50, 70, or 65? Let me know your answer in comments. Rahul's present age is 70 years, and Sachin's present age is 30 years. 10 years ago, Rahul's age was 60, and Sachin's age was 20, which means Rahul's age was 3 times Sachin's age. And 10 years from now, Rahul will be 80 years old, and Sachin will be 40 years old. This means Rahul's age will be twice Sachin's age. Understood, Logical Army? If you didn't understand, I explained it in the comments. Mehul quickly does the math and gives the right answer and enters the lab. Mehul reaches Dr. Sanjana's lab with Alia. Seeing Alia unconscious, Dr. Sanjana becomes scared.
Doc Sanjana, we need urgent help. Alia is not responding.
Dr. Sanjana immediately lays Alia on the bed and checks her.
What happened, Dr. Sanjana? Please tell me clearly.
But Dr. Sanjana remains silent and starts crying. Mehul becomes extremely anxious and holds her hands, asking her what's wrong. Tearfully, Dr. Sanjana reveals that Alia's heart has stopped beating.
You mean, Alia?
As he speaks, Mehul kneels down on his knees, tears flowing from his eyes. He couldn't believe that Alia was no more. Mehul becomes completely heartbroken and overwhelmed with grief. Suddenly, Mehul stands up and says,
Dr. Sanjana, we can still try one last time. Let's move.
1, 2, 3. Mehul performs CPR on Alia multiple times, and suddenly,
Yahoo! Take this! Now take this!
Mehul immediately splashes water on Alia's face. Alia looks startled and comes to her senses.
Wait, I was fighting. How did I end up here?
Mehul and Dr. Sanjana burst into laughter.
Don't worry, Alia. You fainted due to the bomb blast. That's why.
Mehul receives a video on WhatsApp. In the video, they've kidnapped the Bulbulea scientist, and there's a masked man threatening him with a gun, hanging him upside down. Seeing this, Mehul gets really worried. The masked man in the video warns Mehul.
Mehul, if you can save, come to save the scientist.
Mehul doesn't know where the Bulbulea scientist has been kidnapped, but he realizes that the video was sent from another country. Hey, Logical Army, can you guess which country the video was sent from? Let me know your answer in the comments. The video was sent from a WhatsApp number with +61, which is the phone code for Australia.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. It means this video was sent from Australia.
He promptly searches for the contact number of one of his detective friends in Australia on his phone. Mehul has detective friends all around the world, so whenever he visits any country, he makes sure to meet up with them. After finding the contact details of an Australian detective, he gives him a call.
Hello, this is Detective Mehul speaking from India. I need your assistance.
After that, Mehul shares the entire story with the Australian detective. Detective from Australia informs Mehul that the Bulbulea scientist has been kidnapped by the underworld smugglers in Sydney and they have the potential to harm him at any moment.
Detective Australia in danger. I repeat, Detective Australia in danger. Over.
And the call gets cut off.
What happened, sir? Is the Bulbulea scientist safe?
Alia, the Bulbulea scientist's life is in danger, and even the Australian detective is not safe. I must go to Sydney immediately.
I'll come with you, sir.
Mehul refuses to take Alia along as she just had a close call with death. Alia sits down with puffed up mouth.
Oh gosh, this girl can never change. Now, how do I make her understand?
Mehul contacts the Indian army to discreetly arrange for a ship.
I need to keep this mission low-key, otherwise it might cause panic in Australia.
After bidding goodbye to Dr. Sanjana and Alia, Mehul heads towards his home. While driving, he spots a girl lying on the ground with her scooter nearby
It appears that someone has met with an accident.
and halts his car. However, upon closer observation, he senses that something is amiss. Logical Army, can you guess how Mehul figured out that the girl intentionally laid herself on the ground? Let me know your answer in the comments. Pay close attention to the details. There's blood near the girl, and she has a leg injury, but there's no direct link between the blood and the injury. The blood is away from her, and her scooter appears undamaged.
She has a leg injury, but there's no blood around her. Instead, there's blood far away on the road. How can this be possible?
Mehul gets a bad feeling, so he loads his gun and cautiously approaches the girl. But as he gets closer, suddenly,
Hands up! If you dare to make a move, you'll be dead in no time.
the girl points her gun at Mehul.
Who are you, and what did I do to you?
I'm Sonia, the female Sapari killer from Mumbai.
Interesting, very, very interesting. Has a girl come to kill me?
Sonia gives a strong kick to Mehul, causing him to stumble and fall back.
What's interesting? I can take you down without a gun.
This is my chance. I need to do something.
Mehul challenges Sonia, and they engage in a fierce fight. Sonia has been working with the underworld for 5 years, making her skilled in combat. However, today she's up against Detective Mehul, who is no ordinary opponent. Mehul concentrates, and as Sonia throws a punch, he skillfully catches her leg, swiftly spins her around, and throws her near his car. Sonia lands with a hard impact, and blood starts to trickle from her injuries. Mehul quickly calls the police and an ambulance.
A girl is injured. Send an ambulance to my location immediately.
After a while, an ambulance arrives, and the ambulance staff gets out. However, Mehul quickly realizes that it's a phony ambulance. Logical Army, how did Mehul figure out it was fake? Can you guess? There was no female staff member, even though he had mentioned that a girl was injured, so there should have been at least one female staff member. This raised suspicion in his mind. A doctor from the ambulance comes up to Mehul.
Sir, we have come to pick up Sonia.
How does this doctor know the girl's name is Sonia? My suspicion was correct.
Mehul couldn't decide what to do next, so he pretends to be on a call to talk with someone.
It's okay, sir. Sure, sir, I will tell you.
After ending the call, Mehul tells the doctor that he wants to speak to Sonia alone before they take her to the hospital. Mehul takes Sonia with him in his car, and as soon as he gets the chance, he accelerates the car at full speed. Seeing this, the doctors from the ambulance quickly draw their guns and start firing. A little further, Mehul presses a button in his car, and a small missile is launched from the back of his car. The missile hits the ambulance directly, causing it to blast.
I had heard about Detective Mehul, but he turned out to be more than what I expected.
Mehul reaches the hospital with Sonia. Outside the doctor's cabin, he notices a man who seems suspicious to him.
I have a feeling something is not right about that man.
Before Mehul can react, the man shoots Sonia and quickly flees the scene. Sonia is rushed to the ICU for an emergency operation, and the doctors manage to save her life. Mehul arranges for police security to protect Sonia and returns to his home. He starts packing all his important documents and essential items as he prepares to head to the army camp. On the way, Mehul calls Dr. Sanjana to ask about Alia. But Dr. Sanjana informs him that Alia is still sitting upset in the lab.
Dr. Sanjana, please let me talk to Alia.
However, Alia refuses to talk to Mehul and leaves the lab without saying anything to Dr. Sanjana. Mehul needs to reach the army camp quickly, so he ignores Alia's tantrums and remains focused on driving. Mehul finally reaches the army camp. At the main gate, a soldier greets him and allows him to enter. But as Mehul looks around inside, he gets a doubt. Logical Army, can you guess what Mehul's doubt might be? Let me know your answer in the comments. Logical Army, in the register where Mehul made his entry, there were only 2 entries before, but inside the camp, he can see 3 people. One person is a gardener watering the trees, and the other 2 individuals are involved in cleaning duties. Mehul approaches the gardener and realizes that he is not a gardener, but a soldier. Mehul enters the camp and meets with army officers, informing them about the underworld smuggling. The army officer immediately arranges a helicopter for Mehul.
Mehul, this helicopter will take you to a ship where you can go to Australia tonight.
Thank you, Captain.
He salutes the army officer and boards the helicopter. Meanwhile, Sonia regains consciousness in the hospital and asks the police about Mehul. However, even the police have no information about Mehul. One of the police officers tells Sonia your own companion shot you, but Detective Mehul saved your life. Upon hearing this, tears well up in Sonia's eyes. She realizes that the people she worked for over the past 5 years tried to kill her. Sonia decides that she will now accompany Detective Mehul. The army helicopter drops Mehul off at the ship and it flies back. It's an Indian cargo ship heading to Australia. Mehul is on his first night journey on the ocean.
This journey is going to be quite an adventure.
At that moment, a crew member from the ship brings coffee for Mehul.
Can you tell me something about international smugglers?
Sir, our ship sails to other countries during the night, so I don't have much information about that.
After the chat, Mehul retires for the night. The next morning, another crew member wakes Mehul up as the ship has reached Australia. At the Australian beach, 3 ships are anchored. Mehul realizes that among the 3, only one is an Indian ship. Logical Army, can you tell me which ship among the 3 is the Indian ship? Let me know your answer by commenting. All 3 ships have flags from different countries, but all of them look similar to the Indian flag. However, the first flag belongs to India. As Mehul disembarks from the ship, he realizes that he has arrived in Melbourne.
I need to get to Sydney from Melbourne as quickly as possible.
Mehul quickly purchases a flight ticket with the help of a travel agent and boards a plane to Sydney. Upon arriving at Sydney Airport, Mehul calls the Australian detective.
Hello, this is Detective Mehul speaking. I've arrived in Sydney and would like to meet you.
The Australian detective gives Mehul an address to meet, and it turns out to be in the forest. To reach the forest, Mehul has 3 different paths to choose from. The first path leads to the Australian police, the second path is inhabited by some thieves and bandits, the third path is full of wild animals. Logical Army, can you tell me which path Mehul will choose among the 3? Let me know your answer in the comments. Mehul has come to Australia secretly, so he avoids taking the route with the police. The third route could have dangerous wild animals. However, Mehul believes he can handle the thieves and bandits if he takes the second path, given his experience dealing with criminals throughout his career. Mehul seeks the help of his agent to acquire a large amount of Australian currency and sets off towards the forest using the second path. As he feared, he encounters many bandits surrounding him. Quick on his feet, Mehul takes out bundles of notes from his bag and starts throwing them towards the bandits. Surprisingly, all the bandits salute him and let him pass. Mehul proceeds into the jungle, where he has a secret meeting with the Australian detective to plan how to deal with the underworld gang and rescue the missing Bulbulea scientist. Will Mehul be able to save the Bulbulea scientist? And what awaits him when he confronts the underworld Don? To find out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tune in to the next exciting episode.
Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of Detective Mehul's daring escapades.